What's up, fight fans? Welcome to MMA Wire. Let's dive right into today's biggest MMA headlines. Caio Borralho recalls Rocky's first encounter with Sean Strickland. UFC middleweight contender Caio Borralho recently reflected on his rough first meeting with former champion Sean Strickland, which surprisingly turned into a lasting friendship. Speaking to Helen Yee Sports, Caio had this to say: "Sean was there screaming all the time, and then I won the fight. I came to the public and I said, 'Who's the middleweight that's screaming like over here? You're so boring.' And he said, 'It's me, let's fight in the parking lot.' And I said, 'I don't fight for free, few.' So we started our relationship like that. And then 2 days later, he said, 'Hey man, you want to come to the gym? Come to the gym, let's train.' I think he wanted to kill me over there, but when I came to the gym, he treated me very well. We came along very good together, and here we are." Caio Borralho believes Robert Whittaker is close to retirement. Caio Borralho believes former champion Robert Whittaker is nearing the end of his career. Despite Whittaker's long-standing presence in the division's elite, recent losses, including a split decision defeat to Reinier de Ridder, have pushed him out of the top 5 for the first time in 8 years. Speaking to the Schmo, Borralho expressed deep respect for Whittaker, but questioned his motivation and ability to endure grueling 5-round fights, suggesting he may be close to retirement.
Listen, like, Robert Whittaker is a fucking legend. I'm a big fan of him, you know, and all that he has done in the sport, one of the GOATs in the middleweight. But right now, I feel that it seems like he doesn't want to be there anymore, you know. His face says that, his expression, his body expression says that. I don't think he wants to go there and do like a 5-round war again. And no, I don't believe that. I don't believe. With all the respect to him, I'm a big fan, but right now it's just not his moment anymore. I think he's like very close to retire or something like that, you know.
Sean O'Malley picks teammate to beat Umar Nurmagomedov. Former UFC bantamweight champ Sean O'Malley is backing his longtime teammate Mario Bautista ahead of a rumored clash with Umar Nurmagomedov. Speaking on the Overdogs podcast, O'Malley praised Bautista's overlooked skill set and predicted he'll come out on top if the bout gets finalized.
Even when Mario fought Patchy Mick, people were counting Mario out. I was like, dude, Mario, just because of his fight with Aldo that people thought it was boring or whatever, they just, for some reason, forgot how good Mario was. Mario is super skilled, very excited for his fight against Umar, and I'm picking Mario in that fight. I really think he can go out there and get the job done.
The fight is reportedly being lined up as a 5-round main event for a future UFC fight night, with potential dates floating between UFC Vancouver in October or UFC Qatar in November. Bautista has racked up 8 straight wins since 2022, including his most recent upset over Patrick Mix. Meanwhile, Nurmagomedov is looking to bounce back from his first career loss against Merab Dvalishvili earlier this year. Tatsuro Taira dominates UFC Vegas 108 main event, earns praise from fellow fighters. Tatsuro Taira made a massive statement in the UFC Vegas 108 main event, dismantling previously undefeated Hyun Sung Park in a one-sided showcase that reminded fans why he's considered a future title contender at flyweight. Coming off his first career loss, Taira bounced back in brutal fashion, dropping Park in the opening round and then finishing him early in round 2 with a vicious slam and face crank submission. The win improves his record to 17-1 and puts him right back in the title conversation. Fighters across the UFC took notice, calling Taira a true threat at flyweight and predicting gold in his future. Tatsuro Taira believes he's more skilled than champion Alexandre Pantoja. During his post-fight interview, Tatsuro Taira called for a title shot against current flyweight champion Alexandre Pantoja. Speaking at the post-fight press conference later that night, Taira confidently backed up his call-out, saying through a Japanese translator, "I'm 100% sure my skills are superior to the champions." Neil Magny awarded BJJ black belt following comeback victory at UFC Vegas 108. Veteran welterweight Neil Magny had a night to remember at UFC Vegas 108, delivering a second-round comeback TKO over Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos. After struggling with top control in round 2, the Haitian sensation turned the tide with brutal knees and ground and pound to secure the finish. But the night didn't end there. While celebrating with a chocolate chip cake backstage, Magny was surprised mid-interview by his coach, who awarded him a long-awaited Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Reacting to his newly acquired black belt, this is what Magny had to say.
Man, it feels great. I mean, anytime you get any kind of token of appreciation for hard work, I mean, it always feels good to get that reward.
Matt Brown slams Renato Moicano for rejecting UFC settlement money. UFC veteran Matt Brown didn't hold back in criticizing Renato Moicano, who recently claimed he's turning down money from the UFC's $375 million antitrust lawsuit settlement. Speaking on The Fighter versus the Writer, Brown called Moicano a f***ing idiot for allegedly passing on compensation he rightfully earned, accusing him of choosing Dana White's approval over financial gain. Brown also cast doubt on whether Moicano is truly rejecting the payout, suggesting it may just be a public gesture. What this sport has become, the way that the UFC has built it, is not proper, Brown said. What it leads to the way it's built, if you're Dana White, it's proper. If you're on the business side, you sold your business for $4 billion, you did the right thing for yourself and your company. The business doesn't care about doing things right. The business cares about making money, and that's what the business is there for. The promoters should be competing for the fighters. With the way the UFC has been structured and built, the fighters are competing for Dana's acknowledgement and Dana's love. That is completely opposite the way it should be. Moicano, rather than taking money that he fought for as a prize fighter, he wants Dana's love and acknowledgement more than the money, thinking that it's going to get him more money in the future. That should be a very fucking clear sign of how flipped this script is and how fucked up it really is. Brown added that fighters vying for UFC's approval rather than negotiating from a position of strength is a major flaw in the sport's structure. Dan Hooker calls out Arman Tsarukyan, says no one else will fight him. Dan Hooker is making it clear he wants Arman Tsarukyan next, and he's not afraid to say what others won't. In a fiery interview with Submission Radio, the Hangman claimed that top contenders are dodging Tsarukyan, and he's the only one willing to step up. Probably Max Holloway's got one more, I think, before rematching Topuria. Obviously, Islam Makhachev's going up to welterweight. Ilya will probably fight Gaethje. That leaves Holloway. And Holloway ain't gonna fight Arman. No one wants to see that. Holloway will probably fight Oliveira. Gaethje will fight for the title. And then that leaves my man Arman. That's the fight I want. That's the fight that makes sense. They told him one more. He's turned down Gamrot, who's ranked one before me. Let's be honest, Tsarukyan's a walking bag of sand, but he is a very good fighter, and now all those big-name guys, they've got a good excuse to not fight him. Ilya said he's not gonna fight him. The UFC says that he needs one more. And between Arman and me, there's Oliveira. They've already had that fight. Tsarukyan's stuck fighting me. He's got to fight me to get back in the mix and to get a title shot. Both fighters are on win streaks, but their paths to title contention are uncertain. Tsarukyan was set for a title shot earlier this year before pulling out due to injury. And Hooker, fresh off surgery, is eyeing this matchup as his route to the top. Khabib believes McGregor still has a chance to turn his life around. Despite their bitter history, Khabib Nurmagomedov offered a surprising message of hope for longtime rival Conor McGregor.
I don't want to mention his name. This is punishment. This is punishment, and he keep doing this, keep doing this, keep doing this. Everything what happened with the old people, women, this, alcohol, this, drugs, everything. This is punishment. It's beginning already, and. But you know, it's what's the most beautiful part of this. Allah always give for us. Doesn't matter anybody, everybody, to chance come back. And if he gonna change, he can change with him so many other lives too. And that's why I wish him to change himself.
McGregor, who hasn't fought since 2021, has been plagued by legal issues and negative headlines in recent years. But Khabib's words suggest that even with their violent past, he still sees potential for the Irish star to make a positive impact if he chooses a new path. What do you think of Khabib's words for McGregor? That's all for today's news. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe for daily MMA news. Signing out, MMA Wire.